First of all, why haven't films like that been made?
Well, it's a very specific look because it went to that comic. The first piece of music I wrote for that was the main title, and I called it Descent. I wanted the notes to descend because it felt like you were descending into this dark
Yeah.
world, and you don't come out to the end of the movie. You're just like in this world where all these layers of unreality, like water doesn't photograph that way, snow doesn't but it's there, and you're seeing it, and you're seeing the actors. So you're just really, like a dream world.
Yeah.
So I was really into it, and I did tests for the most difficult shots first. Like, how do I get his tape to glow in the
Mhm.
dark, like in the comics, so it's still in the shadow? And I realized, oh, I'll use fluorescent tape and a fluorescent light. That way I can keep it, we can still key it. Like, I started just doing my own visual effects like that early on because I knew technology was changing so fast that I would need to just know how to do it like a magician. Shooting digital, nobody wanted to touch digital back then. DPs were all afraid of digital. They didn't want to have to learn something
That's
new.
so fun.
So I had to DP it. So me photographing it, I'm like, it's so fun to cut because I mean to light, like you have to have that light out of frame right now. But I could bring the lights in right here as long as they're not crossing it. I'm just going to take it out of the green anyways. I could have the coolest light on everybody. Cool edge lights. You could have an edge light back here, an edge light back here, a fill light here. But you're not even erase them. I just take him out.
Can you educate me and people curious about this? Like, what is the power of light when you're telling a story, when you're creating a feeling, an experience? Like, what's the artistry of that?
Well, if you look at the drawings too, sometimes it's the absence of light. Like you
Yeah,
would see
darkness. Yeah.
this face, but then this would be completely black, but you would still see my eye,
Yeah.
which is like impossible, right?
Yeah.
But you believe it when you see it because it's there. So things like that were a lot of the tricks I tried first because I like that about it. It's like you have a guy completely backlit, so there's no light on his face,
Yeah.
but yet his glasses are glowing white.
Yeah.
So we'd put fluorescent tape in there, hit that with a light, then we could turn it white later. The black and white really helps. And then just upping the contrast. But I mean, it's just something that you have a feeling for, but you're able to try it. In fact, when I took it to George Lucas, George Lucas said this to me early on because we're the only guys shooting digital. He said, "Man, it's so good. You live in Austin. That's why I'm in Marin County. Because when you live outside of this box of LA, Hollywood, you think outside of the box automatically. You're just going to stumble upon innovations." And he was right. It was like, well, yeah, what's this? Why aren't we shooting digital? Let's shoot digital. Why aren't we shooting digital 3D? Let's do that. Why don't we just use green screen for the background? You just start innovating because you're away from anyone saying, hey, you can't do it that way, which they would say if I was in LA. So we just came up with a whole other method. So I took him Sin City to check out the first thing I was going to show at Comic-Con. He said, now this will really show people what digital is capable of. This really shows how avant-garde you can get with that shit, that you could never have done that on film, you know? And so by me versing myself in that technology early, I was able to make a movie like that. And then everyone had to play catch up, you know? So you should always just that's why if some people say, don't use those curtains, that's not going to work, just blow past those guys. Go innovate your own thing because sometimes not knowing is better. You know, being too naive to like, don't you know you shouldn't have been able to make that movie that way? People would say like that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, how did you make Mariachi for $7,000? Just it's impossible. It's like, why do you keep using that word? Because it can't be impossible if I did it because I'm not that smart. And it's like saying, how did you get to the top of Mount Everest? It's impossible. Well, I just kept walking. I didn't realize it was kind of at a slope. I didn't really realize it was going up that high.